Welcome everyone to another video of Views from the Stands. We have episode 9 of our transfer portal series. Your host here, Gunner, and we got a good one, guys. So with our first team up, we're going to be talking about the TCU Horned Frogs, guys. Got to say, pretty solid class. They brought in 20 players. 247 ranks them as the 15th best. One has them as the 27th best. And as always, you'll get my final rankings at the end of this series. Definitely focus on the interior, the trenches, on both sides, especially on the offensive side. Brought some front seven players, playmakers, a couple tight ends, wide receivers. So they definitely got the big, a lot of the positions that was needed, basically, right? And so we're going to talk about some of the players here that they got in the class. I'm excited to talk about it. High potential. First one we're going to talk about here is Braylon James from Notre Dame. Young wide receiver, freshman. He's basically going closer home, Round Rock, Texas. He's going to Fort Worth. Good frame, again, 6'2", 6'3", highly recruited kid, so he can definitely create some plays and some magic in that TCU offense as they, reconfigure their team from last year. Next guy we're going to talk about is Travis Broughton from Utah, veteran corner, can tackle. He's got over 100. Something I did notice, he's only got one interception. Just he's only 5'11", so it seems like he's more in the nickel, I think. So maybe that could be definitely a reason behind that, but that's just something that kind of stood out when reviewing the stats after reviewing some of the film. Next guy we're going to talk about here is Bless Harris. What a name here, coming from Florida State. Got hurt in about like 2022, I think. Good size. He was projected to start, and he just couldn't come back from the injury. It seems like worked his way up and was very like a diamond in the rough is what it seems like based on how his recruiting was as a high school. And so he's from Louisiana. Great state for football, obviously. And Florida State obviously saw something in him. 6'5", 326. He can play outside, inside potentially. So good frame on the kid. So interested to see what TCU can do with him. And obviously him staying healthy, right? Next guy we're going to talk about is Remington Strickland from Texas A&M, interior lineman, center guard from Sugar Land, Texas. He's going, closer to home. Was already in the state of Texas. Just wasn't in the rotation. Couldn't get there consistently. Highly recruited kid, and just needs a change of scenery. This is somebody that I thought potentially, USC might go after earlier because of the connection with our O-line coach. Either it seems like now, USC is, content with their center options, and that's probably why. And I don't want to get more into the USC because obviously this is a TCU segment, but I think that's kind of the reasons. If anyone was curious. So yeah, should come in and compete for that starter. And then lastly, Nana Osafo Mensah, most likely saying that name wrong. So apologies there. Fort Worth, Texas, going close to the home. Got 5 career sacks. He was in rotation, just wasn't, probably the every down guy. Highly recruited kid in high school, more of an edge guy, and you can see 6'3", 264. Put some muscle on his frame, which is good. And I think TCU can add somebody like that. I would say that was always their issue, was just not getting enough pressure. So him coming home will be good. And I'll say in general of the rest of the class, I think what I liked about it is a lot of these kids are from state of Texas, and so getting these kids coming home and getting more comfortable could bold a lot of things for this TCU team in this class. So that will really conclude TCU's portal class. Again, I do like it, and so we'll project and tell you the final rankings at the end of this series. But we're going to take a quick moment here. We're going to take a quick break, and then we'll get into part 2 of the new school. Hi, everyone. Gunner here to quickly say thank you for the continued support you guys are giving me and have been throughout this journey and whatnot. But if you haven't supported yet, please go subscribe to the channel. That will benefit you as you'll get notifications, and it benefit myself as well. Uh, but I hope you guys enjoy the Transfer Portal series. Here we go. We are back with part 2 of episode 9 of our Transfer Portal series. Hope you enjoyed part 1, as I definitely enjoyed it. It's definitely been fun to kind of check out, a lot of these players and these schools, and what they're looking to do to, improve their roster and their team for the next year, right? So you probably could already see and who we're going to be talking about next, guys. Yes, you've guessed it right. Arkansas. So Arkansas brought in 13 total players. 247 has them as the 29th best class, and one has them as the 16th best class. And they definitely focused on the trenches on both sides. Brought some front seven players, box players, running backs. Brought in a safety, corners, kicker as well. Can't go wrong with any kickers. So definitely cover the basis and what they were looking to do. Even brought in the QB as KJ Jefferson left, and that's who we kind of talked about on episode 8. So first guy we're going to talk about here, guys, is Jaquindon Jackson, coming from Utah, running back, 6'2", 228 from Duncanville, Texas. Over 200 career tackles, was the lead back last year. He has 14 career TDs. So this was honestly a bit of a shock, but this is somebody that Arkansas can definitely use. They I'm definitely missing the name, but their starter last year, they're kind of their veteran running back. He left to a portal class that we talked about in one of the earlier episodes. Just spacing the name, so apologies for that guy. But this guy's a stud. I liked him from afar, especially when we played against them, Utah. He put some hurt on our defense. So I think this will be a good test for him going into the SEC, and a good piece for Arkansas. Next guy we're going to talk about is Anton Junka. I'm most likely saying that last name wrong, from New York. Apologies, my guy. 6'3", 237, coming from Albany. So, lower tier football, and so he's moving up, and he's moving up to the big boys, right? SEC. I think he's got the tools and the makeup to do it. Honestly, he's got 17 career sacks, 5 forced fumbles. He's got a high motor, and so Arkansas, I think, can put him in some good positions and make him go make plays. Next guy we're talking about, Xavier Sori, linebacker, coming from Georgia. Highly recruited kid, athletic. Just couldn't get on the field consistently, especially when you're at a school like Georgia, right? They have studs everywhere. So Brenton, Florida, I think this is a piece that can definitely come in and replace Jaheim Thomas from that went to Wisconsin. So excited to see what he can do. Again, athletic kid. He just needs a new change of scenery and a new spot to go and play. So he'll be fighting for the rotation and the spot to compete every down. And the next guy we're going to talk about here is Addison Nichols, interior lineman, coming from Tennessee. Highly recruited kid, just needed a change of scenery. Couldn't beat out the other guys that were there, unfortunately, right? And that's the thing with just SEC, right? They're going to recruit their butts off, man. These schools. So he's going to be able to, again, play center, guard, and I think at Arkansas they just need players, and so this is a good piece for them to make sure that their quarterback is upright, because there's definitely some defensive dogs in the SEC. And then lastly, same thing with the person we just talked about, Keyshawn Blackstock, interior lineman, 6'5", 325. Another guy that from the state of Georgia, was always been around the SEC, so he knows what it means. Basically, talented lineman. Will look to start away. Another guard, potentially center. Again, these interior linemen, they could definitely move around a lot. So interested to see what uh, they will do with this kid. Highly recruited, was the number one interior lineman as a high school kid. So he's got talent, and he definitely played good snaps at Michigan State. And, this is definitely one of their big pieces. So I am really kind of surprised with the class of Arkansas, just coming from how I guess 247 looked at it. They don't have crazy players, I guess, or name value wise, but they definitely have some guys. I mean, Sorey, Nichols, Blackstock, and Jackson. I think those are some good pieces, and um, I think even better than TCU, right? So um, I would say TCU or Arkansas definitely won this episode of episode 9, guys. But this is kind of the cool thing about this series, right? You compare two teams, you look at it. One team might win that episode, but then right, you get the final rankings at the end. But I hope you guys enjoyed episode 9 as much as I have, and appreciate your support, guys. Please go like, share, comment on this episode. Let me know what you guys think of this class. And stay tuned for Saturday on episode 10. Peace.